Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake interrupting Ryan.
This is Mac, also amazed that Jake interrupted Ryan.
And this is Flaric, who finds us all hilarious.
I'm so mad right now.
I have been hoping to do that for several an episode now.
It was good.
That
Thank
was
you.
well done, sir.
You should do it more often.
I was quick on that trigger. I heard his mouth open and everything.
This is Ryan, and this is our preview edition of the Akiba Show. If you are new to sumo, make sure you check out our bonus episode number 20, our intro to sumo. Make sure you get the one that was released on May 7th, not the one that was released on April 1st as an April Fool's joke. You're not going to get a whole lot of new information out of that one.
I feel like the date should have been a pretty solid clue, though.
You'd think so, but we definitely got a couple of people. Hopefully they didn't listen to the whole 18 minutes of silence on that. Just as a heads up for everybody, we are recording this preview episode 6 days before the Aki tournament begins on September 8th, so we don't know if any official Kyujo announcements or anything like that, but we have a pretty good idea based on training reports of what we think is going to happen. So with that, I think we just got to say happy second birthday to us, because it was in Aki of 2017 that we started this podcast, and kind of surprised to still see us here around this same table 2 years later.
Mm-hmm. It does not feel like it's been 2 years.
No. It really does.
It feels much longer.
much longer. You're right.
Much.
Yeah.
Seriously, let's just wrap this up. You guys get out of my house.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You're over here too often anyways.
You like it.
Okay, fine. Wrap this up in no more than 2 hours of sumo talk.
Okay, that sounds better.
Before we get into a hardcore 2 hours of sumo talk, we do have to recap the Nagoya tournament. So with that, we will go to our kind of misplaced currently correspondent B.
Oh, yeah. We went to Japan for the Nagoya tournament and got some wires crossed.
A couple of crossed wires.
Yeah, just wire crossed.
A couple misconnections.
Yeah. But he ended up in Des Moines, so we couldn't quite meet up with him. And, while we were flying back, he finally managed to get home and get a shower.
But, yeah, he's a soldier, and he provides us his report as always.
Hey, guys. B here. So I was able to catch most of the Nagoya pay-per-view for a recap report. And while it seems like they've got a lot of different storylines working right now, from the Ozeki division collapse to teasing an Abi heel turn, there's two main ones I wanted to focus on. The first is Kakuyu. Let's be honest here. Dude's been the Orton to Hakuho's Cena his entire Yokozuna run. But as it looks like he's probably going to be going Big Eye pretty soon, the bookers have really been putting in the work to make his legacy neat and tidy. They gave him those back-to-back wins last year, and with a clinch win over Hakuho for the U show, all he really needs is his Zen show, and the video package of his at the Hall of Fame induction is going to be perfect. The second is Enho. Look, I know the office has been start and stop with these young natives over and over again, from the failed Endo push to Call Me Takayasu to Nozeki Takakeisho, but this just feels different. Fighting through the injuries, the slow builds for his Kachikoshis. He's young, he's good looking, he's got that whole protege thing with Hakuho, who's probably not going to be around much longer either. This just feels different. I'm getting really strong Chino Fuji vibes from him, and I know we've all been burned before, but I'm really excited to see where this goes. Anyway, that's it for the report. Oh, quick shout out to my girl Jenny and my boy Kenny at the Argyle and Rye. That's the restaurant at the Des Moines International Airport. When you sleep in the gates for 2 weeks, you really get to know people there. Great people. Salt of the earth. If you guys ever need anything, let me know. See you, Naki.
Well, there you go. B's making friends all over the place. He turned out just fine.
It's good to know there's something good going on at the Des Moines International Airport.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's good for B, I guess. So,
thanks, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's move on and talk about what is most definitively the biggest storyline for the Aki tournament, and that is going to be the turmoil and upheaval in the Ozeki ranks. So where we stand right now, we have 3 Ozeki, which is 1 less than we had in Nagoya. We have Takayasu, Goeido, and Chino Sheen. 2 of those are Kadoban, being Goeido and Chino Sheen. And we also have 1 Sekiwake in Takakeisho that can regain his Ozeki rank if he gets 10 wins this Basho and this Basho only.
So if we have Goeido or Tochinoshin have another losing record in a row, we'll have even fewer Ozeki.
Exactly. So kind of where each Ozeki is right now with their health, because that is the reason why all of them are in this position. The one Ozeki that is not in imminent danger of losing his rank is Takayasu, but he might be the most injured of them all.
I was about to say, he's still battling the injury.
Yeah, so he...
Has you been?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, do tell.
So he injured his elbow in that match against Tamawashi in Nagoya.
I think Tamawashi injured that elbow.
What did I say?
Yeah, it was another Kotanage.
He said,
It's Tamawashi.
I just want to make sure Tamawashi gets his credit for doing the injuring. Takayasu had very little to do with that.
Yeah, Tamawashi injured Takayasu's elbow in Nagoya, and he hasn't really been doing any practice matches. I've seen some pictures of him. He still has that arm in like a sling. There was the Yokozuna Deliberation Council had their like usual get together of all the top guys to kind of
the Soken.
The Soken, yes. And Takayasu didn't do any matches there. He only offered Butsukari, which is a training where one Rikishi pushes the other across a dohyo repeatedly. So that's all he did. He just allowed himself to get pushed across the dohyo. He did not participate in any matches, and it seems highly unlikely that he is going to participate.
I was going to say, that was a week
Aki.
ago.
Yeah.
A week ago, right?
Yeah, that was just a few days ago.
And I don't think another week is going to bring him back up to 100%.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah. Goeido had some matches at the Yokozuna Deliberation Council Soken. He fought against Shodai, Mitakayumi, and Daisho with varying levels of success, but more good than bad. But we all know Goeido is a training master, and he always looks good in training. So it's hard to tell if he's fully back from the injury that caused him to go Kyujo in July. There was a more recent report that he went up against guys like Endo and Mitakayumi in a joint training session with his Ichiman that said that his shoulder wasn't bothering him. He's able to use his right hand. So Goeido might be good to go.
That sounds fantastic.
Which is kind of his calling card. Go Kadoban, but then immediately come back at that winning record and keep his Ozeki rank.
He is by far the longest tenured Ozeki out of this group.
Is it 30 plus at this point?
He's been there for years, and I'm just going to keep talking to Stahl while I bring up the sumo database. But yeah, it's been a long time he earned his Ozeki. There it is, in 2014. So this makes 5 years. So 30 tournaments, that he's been there. And Takayasu is quite a very, very distant second place. He didn't get his until 2 years ago, 2017. So, at Goeido, he's been Kadoban many a time. And
I believe this is his 8th time being Kadoban.
Yeah, so and he's managed to come back every time, obviously, but that's still not a pattern you want to be known for.
I believe he won his only Yusho while as a Kadoban Ozeki, but I don't know that as a certain fact. Yes, he did.
Yes,
and
he
it
did.
was a Zen show.
Yep. But let's move on to Chino Sheen, not all of our favorite current Ozeki, because Jake's favorite current Ozeki is Takayasu, but the rest of our favorite current Ozeki.
Did you just assume my favorite Ozeki?
Do you prefer Chino Sheen over Takayasu and Goeido?
I do actually
As he
like probably
deliberates?
Takayasu a little bit.
Oh, all right.
okay.
That's fair.
Tochinoshin's
So
pretty
Mac and I's favorite Ozeki.
Yeah, I was about to
currently.
say Tochinoshin for me all
good.
the
Yeah,
way.
we can continue.
So
you guys go to hell. I mean, me and Flarik are done. We already talked about our favorite guy, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
Well, Chino Sheen was also not well enough to participate in matches at the Soken either. I heard a report that his knee and shoulder are still kind of bothering him, and he did a couple of practice matches just with his Heya, and he said that his knee it feels like he's doing sumo with half strength.
Just can't catch a break.
Really can't, and I think he's probably going to participate in Gambarais and try his best, but
I don't think it's going to be enough.
yeah, we'll see. It doesn't sound like he's all too much better than he was in Aki, where he started 0-5 and then pulled out after that. And Takakeisho has been sitting out since the 4th day of the May tournament, and now has lost his Ozeki rank due to having a losing record in back-to-back tournaments. He does have a chance to get that back with 10 wins at the Sekiwake rank. He has had some practice matches against some low-ranked guys in his stable, non-Sekitori. And he went 12-0 a few days back before the Soken. His Oyakata said he looked good for one who has been out of practice for so long.
Ooh. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
At the Soken, he went up against a couple of guys, looked good for a little bit, then kind of lost to, I think, Takayasu, and then he kind of just disappeared for the day. And then a more recent report said that Takakeisho seems to have regressed. Like Onosho was able to stop him getting a grip, and and he faced off against Mitake Yumi, and he just fell even before hitting Mitake Yumi.
Oh boy!
And his President Oyakata said he was pessimistic about his chances, and his knee may be in trouble. So things aren't looking good for Takakeisho and his knee. We'll see how he feels, but we know his Oyakata does not mess around with that and held him out of the last tournament, so we may very well see that happening again, but doesn't sound good for Takakeisho. So the big question for the Kyushu Basho is how many Ozeki will we have? We could either have 4, we could have 3, we could have 2, or we could have 1 Ozeki. How many Ozeki are we going to have, Mac?
I think there are only going to be 2 left after this.
Who's that going to be?
I'm thinking Goedo, and Takayasu's going to hang on, only be Kadoban for the next tournament.
Yeah, Takayasu, no matter what, he's going to keep his rank. I think, in my opinion, is that Takakeisho is not going to get those 10 wins to go back up, so he's probably out. Tochinoshin, I'm really skeptical. He's had all these injuries that happen over and over and over again. I think I am anticipating him losing, but Goedo, he's just got too much staying power. The Goedo rule of consistency is that if you do badly once, you have to do good the next time, and so far that rule has yet to be broken.
Exactly. I feel very similar to you, Mac and Jake, of where I think it's going to be 2. I have, after hearing that injury report from Ryan, I'm not expecting Takakeisho to be able to pull out the 10 wins, and Tochinoshin is just it's been a matter of time when he does drop his rank, and it's sounding like this is going to be the final time. On the Goedo thing, you say the rule of Goedo is where he does bad, he has to do good again. There's actually another amendment to the rule of Goedo.
Oh, there's a corollary?
Yes, which is when to Aki tournament, he either gets a Yusho or a Jun Yusho. So he is gonna.
We could check that.
Check the last 3 years.
He's not
God.
wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. 2016, he got a Yusho. 2017, Jun Yusho. 2018, Jun Yusho. And in no other tournament has he gotten either of those.
So Aki is his tournament.
Since 2014 was the last time it was.
Wow.
Oh, God. Oh, shoot. And I thought that one was almost an Aki.
Yeah, so as an Ozeki, the only time he's gotten a Yusho or Jun Yusho is the past 3 Aki tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's
I think all the stars are aligning.
Yeah. It's all the stars are aligning in the sense that
it could be his moment.
Now I know why Fleric said he wasn't so confident in his predictions for this tournament. He's going heavy on Goedo.
Yeah, just like in StarCraft Brood War, Legend of the Fall, of where Protoss is going to win.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Goedo, he's gonna
I've played
do well.
video games.
He's gonna do pretty well.
Protoss OP.
Goedo's going in with that Zerg rush, and that's the limit of all of my StarCraft competitive gameplay knowledge.
It's
Actually, that's not bad.
Protoss. Ryan. Yeah, I actually will give you that.
Yeah, I was about to say it's good,
a strategy.
It's okay.
It definitely is a strategy.
Let's move on. So I think we're all kind of in lockstep. Just probably 2 Ozeki in Kyushu, with those being Takayasu, obviously, and Goedo, unfortunately.
Yeah, 4 Ozeki in whatever the last tournament was is just absurd. That was just silly. We can't have that.
So everybody lost on purpose.
So
naturally,
can't have this.
Let's go around one more time, and maybe we'll get a little bit more disagreement and conversation on this. What is more likely, 3 Ozeki in Kyushu or 1 Ozeki in Kyushu?
I would say 1 Ozeki in Kyushu is pretty unlikely.
Go ahead, Mac.
Well, no, because then we're going against Goedo's Aki rule.
Which is, you can't go against it.
Exactly. And we already know that Takayasu's going to be an Ozeki. Now, whether or not he's Kadoban or not remains to be seen, but he's still going to retain his rank. I'm still leaning heavy on Goedo's Aki rule here, so
it's got to be 3, right?
It's got 3? No.
He said either 1 or 2, so either Goedo loses and it's no longer an Ozeki, or Tochinoshin holds and he remains
I was-
Ozeki.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
we
saying-
all think that 2 is most likely,
Yeah.
but which is more likely? 1 Ozeki left or 3 Ozekis left?
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought he was going for least likely to happen.
Oh no, yeah. So is it more likely?
Why don't you rephrase the
Rephrase
question?
the
and Let's
question.
start over.
How about I phrase it the exact same way? How many Ozeki will we have in Kyushu? Which is more likely, 3 Ozeki in Kyushu or 1 Ozeki in Kyushu?
Okay, most likely
Yes.
3.
Okay, so you think it's more likely that either Takayasu or Chino Sheen does well and gets that rank back than Goedo doing poorly and also losing Ozeki?
Correct. And of the
Gotcha.
2 between Tochinoshin and Takayasu, my money would be on Takayasu.
All right.
All right, I have to disagree. I think that the Aki corollary to the Goedo rule, I don't think is powerful enough. I think it's
You're
I still
doubting the
think
Legend of Goedo.
3 makes a trend, Jake. You can't fight
I was
those
about
numbers.
to say, come on, that is true.
Legend of
I think
Goedo
it
is
is-
strong.
yeah, it is pretty strong. I think it is, but I have so little faith, I guess, in Tochinoshin and Takayasu coming into this that I think it's more likely Goedo breaks the rule than either of them has a really good basho. But I still think that 2 is my solid pick for which I think is most likely.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah. I'm obviously going to be going with 3 because Goedo is way too strong. But I liked Mac's thought of Takayasu maybe a little bit over Tochinoshin.
I mean, you can like it, but do you think it's gonna happen?
No,
He's got
I
the
still think
power of
2. I still think 2.
The burning
I-
spirit of youth, man.
I'm just saying, apparently I have very little faith in Tochinoshin of where he's going to be able to pull it through. So I think Takayasu has a little bit more going on to this basho.
I tend to agree with Jake more.
You fool!
Nani?
I feel more strongly that Tochinoshin and Takayasu aren't capable of getting the 10 or 8 wins necessary for them to go up in rank. So I would say it's more likely that Goedo is still fighting a nagging injury, and that's just not enough for him to get the 8 wins as well. So we drop down to 1 Ozeki in Kyushu.
And Tochinoshin and Goedo are also fighting a case of old.
That is correct.
So Tochinoshin, I think it's also something that we got to keep an eye out for and maybe discuss more depending on how this tournament goes. But does he hang it up at some point here?
He might go the path of like Kodo Shogiku. I mean, obviously Kodo Shogiku has a lot more storied career as an Ozeki, but he's still hanging around, dropping off the rank, although he's not nearly as injured as I think Tochinoshin is. But he might stick around, try to fight it till he drops back down to Makushita or something like that. That recently
least
seems to be
Jiryo.
kind of the deciding point for retirees.
Yeah, I think I recently heard he's building a house in Georgia, his country. So I imagine he wants to keep making money, and he has a baby. You gotta make money for your baby.
Get that baby girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta make money for your family.
Let's move on to the Yokozuna, and it looks like both of them are training. They both participated in the full Jungyo tour, and Kakuryu is sinking 3-point shots at some, I don't know what event it was, but
Oh, I saw that
was
video on
cool.
Reddit. That was awesome.
yeah. So Kakuryu got game.
He got game.
I did read a little bit into that, and apparently basketball is one of the biggest sports in Mongolia. Like
Oh,
that's
really?
just one of the
You're
things.
kidding
Like
me.
like in Brazil, you're going to play soccer or something, or in America, you might play like baseball or something, just as like a default sport. And in Mongolia, basketball is one of the biggest ones.
Oh, wow.
So he probably has played a ton of basketball.
That's awesome.
All right. But in addition to playing a ton of basketball, he's done a lot of the sumo.
He has done
was
some of
gonna
that.
He's
Yes,
done the sumos.
Could the basketball be the secret to Mongolian success?
that could be it.
I'm going to
Box
go
out,
with a hard
box out.
no.
Oh, that's
Dribbling fundamentals could mean a lot in the dojo.
But Kakuryu is keeping to his usual training schedule, which typically consists of kicking Shodai's ass regularly.
That's a
During
Texas size
Keiko.
10-4.
Yeah,
And he
that's
said,
what he's there for.
and he says that he's aiming for his 7th Yusho in this basho. Obviously, what else would he say? The
I'm aiming for like 3rd or 4th place.
the tweet I read pointed out that he specifically wanted to avoid the term back-to-back for some reason. Doesn't really mean anything. I just thought it was interesting.
Superstition, you think?
Yeah. So what do you think the odds are for Kakuryu getting his 7th Yusho and back-to-back Yusho?
90.
90%?
Yes.
Really? Even with
You
Hakuho
just pulled
still
that out of
alive?
the air.
You mean
didn't
Goedo?
No, we've moved on to Kakuryu.
No.
Everyone knows that a 2-second awkward silence is Fleric's weakness. He just has to shout some number.
Yeah, I guess I was actually giving this a little thought when I was deciding my predictions. I actually think Hakuho, I believe you kind of said that his right arm's probably not bothering him as much.
He participated in the full Jungyo tour.
So he's doing training.
And he's been doing a lot of training as well. He's had a lot of matches leading up to this Basho.
I guess in my mind, until I see a successful Basho from Hakuho, I see actually Kakuryu above Hakuho in health and performance rise.
Post torn bicep injury, you mean?
Exactly.
Successful, getting 12-3 and second place in a Basho, that kind of deal.
Exactly.
But,
that's what he did.
Fleric saying he sees him second to. Fleric says he sees him second to Kakuryu, who won that Yusho.
Yeah. The big point I was trying to say is I do think Kakuryu is a favorite going into it, and so I gave it 90 because he's just so good. The Yokozuna are usually a step above, and so I heavily expect Kakuryu to Yusho this tournament. The only thing he has to watch out for, obviously, is Goeido.
Obviously,
of course.
Everybody's got their match with Goeido marked on their calendar. Like, they're all sweating looking at that. It's like, Hitzaki, man.
They're probably sweating all the time, though.
Well, as hot as Nagoya was, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I disagree with Fleric on the number, but I do think that he's one of the favorites. I think.
Give us a number, Jake. We have to have a number now.
I'm going to say 40. I think about 40, give or take, for each Yokozuna, and 20% that we have a surpriser. Because I think all the Ozeki are in rough shape, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's super likely one of them gets it, but we do have a very strong Joy this time around. We have some strong Komusubi and Sekiwake. I mean, other than Takakeisho, of course, but I think they're both Yokozuna are doing pretty well health wise. It sounds like, just from the reports that we read. So I think it's overwhelmingly likely one of them gets it, but I don't know. I can't really put one heavily over the other the way that you're thinking, Fleric.
Yeah, it's I'll be very interesting to see how it goes, but I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Mac, what's your number?
At this point, I actually don't really have one. I know we need one, but the way that
We're not on here to not throw out numbers.
No, and I know that. It's just I'm trying to weigh it in. I would definitely give the edge to Kakuryu.
Heck yeah.
I mean, just because I think Hakuho might be favoring just a little bit. I know he says it's not bothering him, but we've seen it in the past where, like, oh no, the injury's not bothering him, and then a couple matches in, re-aggravates everything, and then they, drop out.
Mm-hmm. He's got nothing to prove.
Exactly. I think in this case, between Hakuho and Kakuryu, give the edge there. So I'm going to say 60% on Kakuryu, 30% on Hakuho, and 10% on an unknown.
Ooh. I'm actually pretty similar to Mac in the numbers, just the assignment is a little bit different. I'm going to give it 25 Kakuryu, just because I do believe so strongly in Hakuho that I'm giving him 60% chance.
So you're kind of switching what Mac had?
And then 15% for the field. So I'm giving the field a little bit more of a chance than Mac, just because it has been so crazy and the field has won a lot more recently than usual.
That's true. As Hakuho and Kakuryu are getting older, we've had a handful of surprises, which is more than the 0 surprises that we had for a number of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Fleric was saying that the Yokozuna are a step above everybody else, and I would think that they're 2-3 steps above everybody else at this point, just because in this time of poor performing Ozeki and injured Yokozuna, literally nobody has stepped up consistently and remained healthy to take one of their spots. So I think the Yokozuna are just a couple notches above everybody at this point. So what does everybody think of Hakuho in particular? I know we all gave our numbers, but how do we feel about his arm injury? How do we think coming off a 12-3 tournament where he kind of looked weak in a match against Ichinojo, lost to Koto Shogiku, lost that final match to Kakuryu? What are our overall expectations for Hakuho in this one?
I'd say pretty high, just because of who he is and because he still got second place. And when he gets second place, we look at it as kind of a rough showing for him. I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
The fact that he hasn't had reports of new injuries or anything like that means that he's only going to be better than he was in July. Assuming that there's nothing secret that he's hiding out, unless there's a new injury that happens during the Basho. I think, he and Kakuryu are just about even in my mind, but they are clearly the big favorites.
Couple quick notes about Hakuho's training. He did participate at the Yokozuna Deliberation Council Soken. He went up exclusively against Abi and just dominated the poor Komosubi. I believe it was said that Abi did beat Hakuho once with a lot of effort in doing so.
Targeted Oshidashi.
Yeah. And then
But he did beat him.
he did beat him once.
Okay.
But otherwise, it sounds like Hakuho just wiped the floor with him. And then
This is
Hakuho-
building to one of my Abi theories later on. But continue.
Oh, all right.
Tell me more.
We'll get to that in a moment.
We need a list of your conspiracies.
He also trained against Takara Fuji recently because he wanted to specifically get training in against somebody that was heavier than him. Takara Fuji's only a couple of kilograms heavier than Hakuho, but technically heavier.
But
And
he does have the most sculpted butt in the top division.
that is true.
Indeed.
And the least amount of neck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Weird pairing.
Yeah.
Those two attributes.
But I'm pretty sure he went undefeated against Takara Fuji, as you would expect Hakuho to do so. Any other Hakuho thoughts before we move on?
Nope. I think you guys explained it well. The fact that he still got a 12-3 with an injured arm, I think speaks volumes. I think he's probably going to do well, assuming he stays healthy.
I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say Kyujo.
Really?
Okay.
I think he's going to go a couple matches, and he's going to build up his confidence, think he's going to do fine, and then I think he's going to re-aggravate his injury to the point where he's going to drop out.
That's a good point. I think I've heard people say Hakuho is kind of a now every other Basho kind of person.
And that's my... Thank you, Flair. You just touched on what I was getting to.
Yeah.
You got me.
He did just come off of Jin Yusho, so he can kind of...
Exactly. He can take it easy, let his arm fully heal. He's got nothing to prove.
He's got Ichinojo early again.
Exactly, and that was my other point.
One of the few guys that has one of the few guys that has a reasonable yet still terribly losing record against Hakuho.
What is his record against Hakuho?
I'll load that up.
But just looking at Ichinojo's size compared to Hakuho, if any further damage could be done to his bicep, he's done.
By reasonably well against Hakuho, we mean that he's beaten Hakuho 3 times and lost 12 times.
Better than Tochi
Yeah, I was
Noshi.
about to say, better than Tochinoshin.
last 1 year or last 2 years. How's it look?
Let's load up all their matches together. It looks like they are 2-2 since mid 2018, so you could look at that as an indicator. I just know that I bring Ichinojo up because it's not just like the loss this last tournament. It's also that he seems to struggle a lot against Ichinojo. Just because Ichinojo is gigantic, of course anybody's going to struggle against him. But in particular, he's one of the few guys that we see bring the full effort out of Hakuho in order to in their matches together.
And when Ichinojo's awake, he is quite powerful.
I guess, yeah, you could say that, I suppose, if you were being bold.
So yes, in this case, I'm going to go bold, and I'm going to say Hakuho Kyujo after a few days.
There we go.
What do you think regarding? He's still on his goal for the Olympics, right? He wants to stay around till next summer.
I haven't seen otherwise.
So you might be onto something there that he's taking it easy. Maybe he just wants to make sure he doesn't get hurt worse. And if he had a good showing in July, maybe he's built up enough good grace to call it an injury this time.
I think with the amount of training that he's been doing and the level of the training he's been doing, he doesn't have an excuse at this point unless he re-injures his elbow and
That's
has
a good
to
point.
get like doctor's notes pretty much to show to the Japan Sumo Association.
He'll be
to go
fine in 3
Kyujo.
weeks.
I was going to say, Dr. Notes seem kind of cheap for sumo wrestlers for the most
That's
part.
fair.
I think they have a doctor on each
retainer.
Each stable has a doctor on retainer.
Let's move on. We'll jump down the Bansuke a little bit. We'll come back to some of the Sanyaku guys, but I want to talk about Tomokaze. This is a guy that has never had a Makekoshi in his career. He's going to be entering either his 4th or 5th Basho in the Makuuchi division. He's the only guy that was able to put dirt on Kakuryu in the previous Basho. He is ranked Maegashira 3 this time. Jake is confirming that it's his 4th Basho in the Makuuchi division. He's going to be Maegashira 3. He's going to be in the Joy. He's going to have a full slate Sanyaku schedule for this Basho. Do we think that he's going to keep up his Kachikoshi ways, or is this his first stumbling block?
I think I'm feeling that he's going to make it. Mostly because I think we have a very injured Ozeki ranking. And the fact that he was able to win against Kakuryu, watching that match, I do feel like Kakuryu made a mistake more so than Tomokaze beat Kakuryu. but he was also smart enough to take advantage of that mistake and win. So I think that does get some kind of credit. So I have high hopes for him. I think he can definitely, seems like he can hang with the top of guys, and so I really want him to do well.
I am skeptical, and I wanted to bring up that I have been harping on this in all of our Bansuke episodes, but I think that Tomokaze is moving up too fast. I think that it is to his detriment that he is doing so well every time, because he's getting jumped up to higher ranks of competition very quickly. Like, for example, if he had only 8 and 7s or something like that, and he was, just moving up slowly between different tiers, I guess, of competition, that might be better for him. What's happening now, I think he's in a prime position to have a terrible basho. In July, he only faced 2. Yes, he beat a Yokozuna, which is amazing, but we know enough about sumo to know that one match can show a lot, but it also can't show everything. Because the only other guy that he faced in the Joy was Ichinojo on day 12, and he lost that match. Everybody else was Megashira 5 or lower. So I think going up against a full slate of Joy, even if the Ozeki are injured, going up against all those top guys, that I think that he's in for a rough one. That's my guess here. I think he needs more time to develop before he can stick around at the top. But I'd love to be wrong.
Yeah, you do say he's moving up too fast, but he's been having a lot of 8 and 7s and 9 and 6. I guess he went very fast through Juryo. I'm looking up his record right now. He had 12-3 in Juryo and 10-5 in Juryo. But then he had a 9-6, 8 and 7. Then this last one he had 11-4.
Against the toughest competition he's ever faced, he had his best record.
That's true.
That's a good point.
I think that there's a big jump between, like, the jump in competition from Megashira 9 to Megashira 7 is, there may be some amount of jump, but from 7 to Megashira 3, I think he's in. That's a big step, and I haven't seen enough to be confident that he'll do well. But again, I would love to be wrong, because I really like the guy, and he's been very interesting so far.
Okay, the point I was trying to get to when I was mentioning his stats, you're thinking he's moving up a little bit too fast. The things I would say about him is he's still 24, and he's still been going fairly slowly.
He's not rocketing up the ranks the way that some of the historical Yokozunas that we've looked at have rocketed up through the ranks.
Exactly.
But he's still moving awfully quick.
I mean,
it definitely is very slow. I think I've been just impressed with his slow and steady 9-6, 8 and 7. Granted, he messed up and got 11-4 this last time.
The fool.
Yeah, the fool. I think he's been going pretty slowly, all things regarding.
So this is something that Jake did bring up in our last Bansuke review episode, where he thought that Tomokaze wasn't going to do well, and I promised that I would have a retort for him on the preview episode where that kind of conversation is meant for. And Flarik pretty much already made my argument for me. With such a battered Ozeki rank that takes half of the toughness out of the Sanyaku schedule. Abi's been around for a little bit, but are you really terrified of going up against Abi or Endo or a battered Takakeisho at this point? You're going to have a couple of tough matches against the Yokozuna no matter what, but I think lower than Ozeki, you're not 100% terribly frightened of everybody there, and you got guys like Aoyama who can get bounced pretty hard out of the zone of death. Asana Yama, who has got that Yusho, struggled a little bit last time. I think that's going to be a really fun matchup to watch between those two. But I don't see any reason why Tomokaze can't hang with the big boys this time, get 8 and 7, 9 and 6, if not better, because I am officially naming this guy as like the next
your
thing.
Guy. Yeah.
No, Hokuto Fuji's still my guy, but I think Tomokaze is going to probably get past Hokuto Fuji in the rankings not too long, and I think At
which point you will 100% switch your allegiance.
He's just dropping.
No. But I think Tomokaze is like the next Ozeki.
Okay, well, here. How about we do this? How about we wrap up this conversation with a bet?
I am all about
I saw
that.
Ryan physically get more excited.
Sports betting is legal in Iowa now.
Yes, it is.
I will bet you guys a prediction point that he will get 6 wins or less. Not even 7, not just a regular Makikoshi.
point.
I
I'm
don't
writing this
think
down.
he'll get even 6.
All right,
6
I'll
wins.
take an extra
Okay, so extra
Prediction
prediction
series point.
point. So
I need this too.
If he gets
Can I jump
7 wins or better, I get a prediction point. Correct?
yep.
And if he gets 6 wins
And
or worse...
Fleric, if you want in on this, because you're also pretty vocal here.
I want in. I'm going to need this.
All right.
Okay. So if he gets 7 wins or more, you guys get an extra point. And if he gets 6 wins or less, I get an extra point.
All right. I'll take that deal. Mac, are you in on this? Or are you going to
Okay,
stand by and judge?
Ooh.
Oh, he's taking notes right now, so don't forget
Yeah,
about
I'm
it.
writing it in so we don't forget, but no, I'm totally down.
Yeah.
All right. So
You're on their side or my side?
So this means you get 2 extra points and we get 1.
If Max is
No,
in,
no.
I should get 3 points total.
that seems
No, just 1 point for whichever.
No, I'm
Outcome in house.
saying 7 or more.
Okay.
all right.
All right.
There we go.
So with that out of the way,
That's a silly prediction.
Okay.
Don't you? Yeah. Don't you?
there's no basis for it. The guy has literally never had less than 8 wins.
Have you seen his graph? Have you seen it the way he's been going?
Yeah, his graph is literally only pointing up, Jake.
Yeah. You fool.
I'll happily take your points. I would love to hear your take on whatever our punishment turns out to be.
Yeah. So let's move on to another up-and-comer who had a little bit of a setback in the last tournament. Like Jake
Oh man,
is
the
expecting
first
for
time this guy
Tomokaze.
got into the Joy, he had a losing record. Wow, that's so irrelevant to the previous conversation.
I know.
That's correct. This is a completely different person.
No.
So Asana Yama, he's had his first taste of Sanyaku. He's gotten roughed up a little bit. He knows what it's like now. He had a 7 and 8 last time, so not terrible.
Still probably better than most guys do in that situation. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. We have to do research on that. Definitely not. I mean, actually, it could be exactly how bad Tomokaze does, and I'll still walk away with an extra prediction point. But how do we think Asano Yama bounces back in this Basho?
I think he's going to bounce back pretty well. I think the one after was like that's when he first maybe not the first time he entered the Joy, but he was definitely in the Joy and had to kind of prove that he can hang there. He was able to get a 7-8 and still stay in the Joy, and then he's had nothing but like a Jungyo touring, able to train up. I think he was able to use that to improve himself, and I think he's going to use that to remain and get winning Kachikoshi.
Yeah, it was definitely his first time in the Joy. His previous best was Megashare 5.
And I think he was coming off of the Yusho jitters. I think that's what it was. Everybody was expecting him to perform so well.
He was also coming off the Hakuho concussion.
Also true.
Very,
also
very true.
But
forgot
I
about
think
that.
there was just too much going on in his head. He just had bad nerves, and I think he's going to do well in this.
Too much partying, all those TV shows.
That's
of course.
legit an issue for Yusho winners and Ozeki guys that are promoted to Ozeki. They don't have time to do the training because they have all these media appearances that they got to do.
It's I
think he'll do fine.
exactly. I think he's gained some experience here, and he still got 7 and 8. He just got to get one more win. It's like
he's fine.
like
He's
the
fine.
Hokuto Fuji.
Yeah.
He can beat that guy.
Well,
It must have been a large burden to have the entire hopes as the great young hope for 5 seconds until Ryan says it's Tomokaze.
Yeah, it's 100% Tomokaze.
but you guys remember the feel that we had when we were there in Nagoya when Asano Yama came out under the ring. The whole
yeah.
place just went berserk.
That was one of the biggest pops there was.
and it didn't help that it didn't hurt that he was going up against Endo.
No,
But
that didn't hurt either.
There were still quite a few cheers for Asano Yama, so I think those are two definitely the biggest guys because, I mean, Japan loves their guys that could bring home the Yusho, so Asano Yama is definitely a guy that might be able to do some more of that in the future. So let's move on to another guy that has brought home a Yusho in the recent past, but we've beaten like a dead horse over and over again the battered Ozeki rank.
So have an average of 7 of his opponents every time.
Mitaki Yumi, will he be able to begin another Ozeki run with a 10-plus win Basho in Aki? Will he be able to take advantage of that just decimated Ozeki core to string together 10 wins? 'Cause I don't think he's ever had 10 wins except for his 13-win Yusho in the Sanyaku ranks.
In the Sanyaku ranks, no, but back in 2017, he did have a previous career best of 11 wins from Megashira 1. So he can do this in the Joy, but again, the consistency is the thing we're talking about, and no, I don't think so.
Yeah, no,
No.
no way.
Nope.
I mean, that's fair. History is on your side.
If we're unanimous on that, I think he's pretty much a lock for the Yusho now.
Yeah. You
Sorry,
might not
no,
be
wait.
wrong.
Aki
No.
Goedo is here.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right,
I was
you're
gonna say,
right.
hold on, Jake.
Sorry, we have
Don't you forget about the Legend of Goedo.
we have a different meme pick for this round.
All right, speaking of memes, let's move on to Fleric and his whatever Abi talk he has been saving.
Yeah, tell me more about my boy.
Oh, okay. So Abi, I've been thinking about this a little bit. You know, before, like he's all about pushing thrusting. You know, it's pretty good. But then, like, you know, after he got into the Joy, the Komusubi, he guys kind of ass handed to him. He's like, shit, I need to get better. And so, like,
I guarantee he said those exact words.
Shit, man, I need to get better.
Yo, this is whack.
As we all know, Abi is a teen idol from the 90s.
Yes.
So he learned a new technique, which is how to throw someone, like, you know, with a Mawashi, which is fantastic. And, like, you know, there's people who've been trying to learn Mawashi skills for, like, years, you know, trying to get pretty good. But he learned this in just a couple months, like, just like between one basho. So
I mean, like Midoriya with All for One.
You're kind of getting what I'm going at. This guy is a genius, and I'm pretty sure he's an anime protagonist of Pro Sumo.
If I had to pick a guy, if Enho is off of the table
And
for
Endo.
and Endo, yeah.
Wait, I said that
Then
wrong.
Abi is definitely up there.
Yeah, he's very charming. You know, he's a very good-looking guy.
Allegedly, I think he looks weird.
He is definitely very tall and kind of gangly. I think that's the word. But no, the way he just like picked up a move and like, you know, he has some like spunk. It's like very much kind of like
he's Midoriya is what you're getting at here.
I was actually more thinking of in the Prince of Tennis when Ryoma actually said learned the zero drop Shinki move, which from his captain Tezuka. Mm-hmm. He was able to just kind of pick that up and able to just use that in the match to win. It's just so. I just see so many parallels with Abi.
Okay, you say that he like picked up a new move.
Yes, because Abi has been doing sumo for like 10 years and
He
never
ate
touched
some
a
of
belt.
Hakuho's hair.
Hasn't touched a belt since the first 10 years.
He won one match with a belt technique. Jake is going to check this right now.
He
won one or two matches by belt technique. We cannot say that is definitively, oh yeah, he's got the belt down now.
I was winning in the Joy with belt techniques.
Literally won.
Yeah.
He got an Owate Nage on Mitake Yumi on day 9.
All right, Flair.
To be fair.
Over under
Good
it was against Mitake
2 belt wins for Abi this tournament.
Bet a prediction point.
Oh, prediction point?
Fine.
Okay,
so prediction point, Fleric. If Abi gets 3 belt wins or more, you get a prediction point.
Okay.
If Abi gets 2 belt wins or less, I get a prediction point.
Dang it, Ryan is just soaking these
Is
up.
it just 2? I guess he had 1. And
He got 1 last time.
so it would be like 100% improvement if he got another one. So if he got 3, is 2 off the table? That's for you?
Yeah, so what Ryan is proposing,
I don't know
I
if
think
I'll
we
like
should move it down to 2.
How about, 2
that's a
belt
riskier
wins,
one.
Fleric is a point. 1 belt win
Or 0.
less, I get a point.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that, Fleric?
I'm okay with that.
All right, put it in the books.
Max writing
sounds
it down. It is in stone.
I'm trying to wonder if this
is
proves
done.
Jake
more,
or Mac, are
if
you
he
in
does
on
more
this?
throwing.
Nope. No.
No.
All right.
Not touching this one.
I'll find another thing to bet Mac on so that we have a full circle thing.
There
That's
you
fair,
go.
but
All right,
But no, that's my best thing is he's definitely the anime protagonist of sumo, and he's going to do very well and probably
More
star
than we
music
baby
videos. He is definitely like the cute like sidekick, you know, that you root for. But he's not going to be winning your shows. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's a good point. On the other hand, Enho and Ishira could be like the evil minions of Hakuho. Mm-hmm. Man, you've thought this out, haven't you?
Holy crap.
I definitely have like all the pictures on the wall with like little yarn that's connected to each other. Yeah.
Fleric's room is just nothing but red lines all over the place. It makes sense.
I'm telling you.
Let's go slightly more rapid fire through a couple of guys that kind of did well in the Nagoya Basho. What are our expectations for Endo and his second go at the Komusubi rank?
I think he'll do okay. He did get a 10-5 from Megashira 2. That was his record in Nagoya, but again, that was with the horrid performance from all the Ozeki, so that's a little inflated. I think I'd say I'm leaning towards he'll get like 8 or so, but probably not anymore.
7 or less.
But right around 500, you think?
Nah.
Do you think he'll get like way less?
Are you willing to bet a prediction point on it?
No.
Fair enough.
Just with his current rank, I know the Ozeki being in trouble is kind of the problem, but I'm looking below him as well. There are some guys that are going to be up and coming, either even Oyama, I would say, has a good chance. Abi's still going to be in there. Takakeshi and Taki, they're going to be hungry for that.
Hokuto Fuji's in there.
I was waiting for... You said it wrong. You're
My boy Hokuto
There we go.
Fuji.
Thank you.
Oh, that's who you meant.
Yes. Sorry for the
Yes,
mispronunciation.
thank
before.
you. You were confusing me. So I think he's going to have a rougher go of it. I'm hopeful that he'll have, Kachikoshi, but wait and see at this point.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry to interrupt you there, Flair.
go ahead.
I think that part of the thing here is that we have a pretty strong Joy this time around, but there are very few tiers to it. Like Mitake Yumi is definitely like, he's a solid Sekiwake, right? But everybody below him, from Abi down to like Ryuden, is kind of at that same Joy level. So I don't think there's anybody that's gonna like blow everybody else away. A couple people might have some really good tournaments, but meh.
I just want to take a moment to point out that Jake interrupted Fleric and said, "Sorry to interrupt you, Fleric." And then Max said, "Oh, no, go ahead."
That was pretty good. That's how polite Mac is.
Indeed it is.
But yeah, I think that it's. I have a really hard time picking anybody here to have an extreme record other than
Tomokaze.
who I think is just going to get his butt kicked a little bit.
Yeah. This is kind of the problem with being an anime protagonist is sometimes you have to lose to win. So who knows how Abi's going to do?
Sometimes you have to lose to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure he does.
You must understand failure. The taste
He
of
has
defeats.
a long character arc. This might be several
Sure.
seasons.
Sure.
How about Terutsuyoshi, who had a career high in wins, and he won the Jun Yusho all the way from the absolute last ranked Makuuchi guy. He jumped all the way up to Maegashira 9 from 16. How do we think he's going to follow up his best career performance?
Choo choo, baby. Choo
Ooh, somebody's on the Terutsuyoshi hype train.
Yeah.
No, definitely 8 and 7. He'll do fine, but 8 and 7.
Yeah, I think that one will prove to be a bit of an outlier for him.
Exactly. He's going to hit the joy wall pretty hard.
And that's why I was like, yeah, I'm on the train, but 8 and 7.
I mean, he's not going to hit the joy wall this Basho for Maegashira 9.
Unless there's a handful of injuries, though.
I think he's going to
That's more than a handful.
I might be wrong, but he might hit some of the people in the joy, or is
It depends on
usually
his.
not work
It
out
depends
that way?
on his performance. Because in the first week, he's not going to face anybody up there. But if he has like a similar record as one of the guys up there, like if he's doing really well and somebody up there is doing really well, they'll pit him against one of those guys.
So it's not guaranteed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're continuing our anime analogy here, I think
Naturally,
that
yes.
Terutsuyoshi seems like a guy who's like the salt throw and the exciting matches. He seems like a guy who's got like kind of a funky hairstyle, so you remember him.
He's got some personality, yeah.
But I don't think he's like protagonist level.
I don't think so
I think
either.
he's like,
The Jibbity Crockett of G Gundam.
I kind of imagine him as kind of like Vegeta before he became the friend. Like
Terutsuyoshi?
he's the annoying kind of villain
Who
character.
murders like 11 people or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot
my
more
God.
than 11.
It's mostly the short thing.
Okay.
All right.
It makes a little bit more sense now.
Okay, it makes
kinda
sense.
And I like Vegeta more than Krillin, and I like Terutsuyoshi, so I'm going to make the Vegeta analogy.
And yet,
Gotcha, the murderer.
and yet, the DBZ gods bestowed upon me a Vegeta from the pods.
I got a Bulma.
You got a Bulma.
There we go.
What
But we're
are you
agreed.
talking about?
Speaking of Bulma, Ryuden did not do well in the last Basho.
He did not.
So and he had been looking pretty good. Real quick, is he going to have a bounce back tournament this time at Maegashira 5?
I want to hear what Max says first so that I can disagree with it very strongly and bet him a prediction point on it.
what are we talking about again?
Maybe I can get this.
No, Ryuden. Why?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Mac.
He was 4-11 at Komosubi. He's at Maegashira 5 now. How does he do?
Oh, he's fine. He's completely fine.
That sounds
fine.
like an 8-7 prediction.
He won't get any wins.
No, he's fine. He'll. I'm going to go say 9. I'm going to say he'll get 9 this time.
God
Yeah.
dang it. That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Nice.
8 or
But
9.
I've
yeah.
learned. Do you know how many predictions I've failed? I learned. Damn
We
it.
do. We do know.
Yes, and we have it on record.
Let's talk about a guy who is making his debut in the Makuuchi division. This is Tsurugisho, who won the Juryo Yusho from the Juryo 6 rank in the Nagoya Basho. He is the Maegashira 14 East wrestler in this Basho, and he is making his debut at 28 years old. This is his 34th Basho. He has won a Yusho in each division he has been in, except the Sandanme division. It looked like he rocketed up pretty quickly through those lower divisions, and then he hit Juryo, where he has been in Juryo for 22 consecutive basho.
Holy crap.
22
Yikes.
out of his previous 33 basho have been in Juryo. He never went down below Juryo, but he also never got higher than Juryo 5 West after 22 basho in Juryo until now, where he won that Yusho from Juryo 6 and launched him all the way up to Maegashira 14. So let's get a couple of quick predictions for Tsurugisho in this basho.
He went more than 2 years without getting further away from 500 than six wins. He just hovered in one spot for like 2 years, then got a 4-11, then an 11-4 to put him right back there, and then more 7 and 8s until all of a sudden he just put everything together in July this year. What on earth is this career? I mean, it's a big step up. I mean, I think statistics would say it's unlikely that he does super well.
Okay. I think you said he had 13-2 last basho.
13-2.
It's going to be 2 or 13 to put him right back in Juryo.
Back to Juryo 6 with you.
No, you get down there. You get down there and you stay there.
You know what? My prediction's not too far off the lines from that of Flarix. So we'll send us back down to Juryo, where we've got a couple of guys down there that are returning to Juryo. Some fan favorites, especially sitting at this table. We got Chiyomaru, who unfortunately just barely missed staying in the Makuuchi division. He will be the top-ranked guy in Juryo after a 5-10 record in the last basho. We also have Kaisei and Yoshikaze down in there for the first time in a long while.
And Yago.
Yeah, I was about to say Yago,
And
too.
Yago is
also
there
kind of
too.
a fan favorite because I count as a fan. And he's kind of
Well, yeah.
a little bit of a favorite. Not much, I guess.
It was like, he's
I like
dead to
him.
me.
All right, that's
And
fair.
you left him off the list.
I apologize.
Have we heard any more on Kaisei's injury?
No. Moving on.
Hey!
Do you guys?
Well, we didn't have anything to add. so.
No.
So out of those 4, I guess, but mainly the 3 I mentioned, do you think anybody's gonna immediately bounce back into the Makuuchi division?
I think Chiyomaru is most prime just because of his rank. He's
fair.
at
Well,
Juryo 1.
yes.
Yeah.
I think actually Yago would be poised to climb up over Chiyomaru, and that hurts to say, but I like Yago's spirit. I like his ability. I think he's going to at least get back to the very low rank of Maegashira.
I think I'm with Flaric, just basic math. It's Chiyomaru. He showed he could get winning records against the Juryo guys. Yago, I think he can get a winning record, but not enough to jump over Chiyomaru. And I think Yoshikaze and Kaisei are at Juryo 7 and 8.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty
barring
low.
like
Yeah.
12, 13 wins, they're not going to make their way out of Juryo. And honestly, I think they're probably too injured at this point to muster that.
We have no news,
We don't.
Yeah, yeah.
We can only base it off the last
Yeah.
basho.
Okay.
So
I think both of those, if they're healthy, they can definitely muster that out. They get some mustard and squeeze it out.
Mustard.
They can mustard it out. Yeah, I
Mustard,
gotcha.
yeah, muster it out. So I'm super sad, but I do think both of these are not. I don't think Kaisei's at the twilight of his career technically just yet. I still think he's got a good amount of years in him.
I agree. I think this is just a current injury that's keeping him out. I think once he's healthy, he'll be able
Yeah.
to get back in Makuuchi.
I'm not
easily.
terribly too worried about him or Yago.
I'm a little more worried about Yoshikaze.
Yeah. Kaisei
Yeah.
can get double digits from low or even mid Megashira, when he's at 100%. But Yoshikaze, he's 37. That's
a little
pretty
old.
and he's
Is he the new grandpa of the top division?
Oh, he
sumo?
could be.
Because
well, he's not in the top division of sumo now.
Of the Sekitori.
Of the Sekitori, maybe, yeah. But he went 0-15. He didn't even compete, pushing him down to Juryo for the first time in 12 years.
Ooh,
Yeah,
dang.
he has been around for quite some time, and usually in the very top of the Makuuchi division.
All right, I'm going to go rattle through some things real quick before we can commence arguing about something. Ikioi is at Juryo 12 after a 5-10 record, and if he has a repeat performance, he would drop down to Makushita and could very possibly see an Ikioi Intai announcement during Aki or right after Aki.
He's clearly injured, but he's still never missed a match.
That's true. Just want to go through where are some of our lower ranked guys where they ended up on this Bansuke. So Hoshoryu had his first career Make Koshi. He only dropped down to Makushita 5 East, so he's still in that range with a 6-1, 7-0 record where he could jump up to Juryo before the end of the year. Naya is at Makushita 10 in this Basho. Roga is at Makushita 43 West. Ryuko landed at Makushita 3 West, so another good performance for him. Could see him back up into Juryo. And our Americans in Sandanme, we have Musashi Kuni at Sandanme 38 West, and Waka Ichiro at a career high, Sandanme 67 East.
Heck yeah.
Unfortunately, Musashi Kuni had to pull out of the last tournament, so we don't know. He might not be at 100% these days.
Exactly. So let's get to a topic where we know we're going to have a little bit of argument. This got brought up when we started talking to our guy that won our fantasy contest. We did a little bit of chatting with him, and the topic of Teruno Fuji got brought up, and our fantasy guest believes that Teruno Fuji is going to run into a wall in Makushita pretty soon. He's at Makushita 27 East this Basho. Teruno Fuji, this will be his 4th Basho back after fighting a multitude of injuries. He went 7-0 in Jonokuchi, Jonidan, and then he went 6-1 in Sandanme, and then 6-1 in Makushita. And so now he's at his highest rank since coming back. How do we think Teruno Fuji is going to perform in Makushita this Basho, and are we going to see him kind of struggle as he reaches the top of the Makushita rankings?
I strongly think whatever Mac doesn't. To the point that I would bet a prediction point upon it.
Okay, fine. Let's see if we are of like minds again. I think at this point down in Makushita, he's still not going to face too much adversaries. I think he's going to be okay. Whether it's 7-0, can't say, but I would say at least a 4-3.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well for now. Unfortunately, I can't disagree with Mac.
I was going to say, where'd that fire come from before that?
No, the problem is I thought about it.
Exactly.
No,
think about it for
that's
a minute.
the problem. You don't do that.
I think if
You
he
just
gets,
see patterns and you commit.
Objection.
I think the same way that we chatted about this in the group, I think he's going to hit a wall at some point. It's probably not here, though.
No. Up towards the top, maybe hitting toward Makushita 1, 2, 3 in that area.
Maybe even Juryo.
Maybe even Juryo, possibly, but I don't think we're going to see him back at the top level again.
A big step up in competition, and especially one more catastrophic injury, that might just be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Flerk?
I entirely agree with both Mac and
Then why were we arguing about this earlier this week where I was like, no, he's going to be fine, you guys?
I don't know. It might have been our guest who is kind of
It could have been
on
that.
the other side of it.
Well, we did
He
have...
did confuse you for being the same person.
I
You
think-
and Jake are both the same person to him.
I'm still kind of wondering about that one.
Apparently we sound the same.
Sure thing, Jake.
Yeah, for somebody who hasn't spent the last 10 years together like we have, I can kind of see that. But but maybe we just need to stop spending any time together outside of this room, so then maybe we can form opinions that aren't the same as each other occasionally.
We've been watching sumo together for how
Well,
long
okay, you
now?
guys are all saying 4-3. I say his minimum is 5-2, if not 6-1.
I'm with you on that too.
Yeah,
Damn it, you guys.
I think he got a 6-1 last time and got.
He hasn't done worse than 6-1 since he's come back.
Yeah, I would, if I had to pick one, I'd say 5 wins. He might go up against Roga again.
I'll say 6. Yeah, and he'll beat Roga again.
Oh, that's right. Who did beat him?
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Your argument failed.
And I think I think we're now moving on into our commercial break. So we'll come back with our prediction series. We'll have at least 1 or 2 fun facts and then just a couple of our other usual things.
Previously on The Young and the Wrestlers.
Endo, it's not your baby.
Nani?
It's not my baby either.
Double nani!
It's mine.
Kisano Sato, I thought you were retired.
Not from love.
That's not what you told me, older brother.
Kaisei.
That's right. I'm back from the Bermuda Triangle where I learned your most terrible secret.
Nani? But Kaisei, you can't be my brother because you're my son.
But my son is Mecha Ichinojo, the Titanic Mongolian cyborg.
Nani?
Nani indeed, Kisei no Sato, because while I was in the Bermuda Triangle, I learned that your brand of sumo is to try your best.
No.
And to take it one day at a time.
No! With this knowledge, I shall defeat you and win the hearts of your brother and greatest foe, Endo.
Nani?
Aha, but not so fast, for I've also learned your secret.
No, you've learned that I've been a ghost this whole time?
No, that one's new. But I found out that your evil clone's love child is secretly a secret.
Nani? Find out the dramatic conclusion next week on The Young and the Wrestlers.
Welcome to the second half of this episode. This is Ryan.
Ah, you beat me to it that time.
We don't do it there. I needed to get it in somewhere. I was dying inside. Let's get to our prediction series. Speaking of me dying inside, did you listen to that frickin' song I sang in the last one?
It was glorious.
It was Subarashi.
Subarashi.
That's not how I felt doing it.
Sugoi desu.
So let's get right into our prediction series. We already have a couple of points on the line. Mac, do you want to recap the points that are on the line since you took such studious notes for us in the first half of this episode?
Indeed I can. The additional prediction points are 7 wins or more for, I forgot to write that one down. Tomokaze, thank you.
I believe that will
I didn't
be-
realize you were being sarcastic when you said studious notes. It took him like 20 minutes to write it, so I thought he was doing it right.
I just forgot to list Tomokaze in the front. I was like, wait, I forgot who that is.
Who are we talking about here?
That's why I followed up that sentence. Anyway, okay, Tomokaze, 7 wins or more, Fleric, Jake, and myself.
Oh, yeah. I'm in on that one, too.
Oh my God, why did we put him in charge?
This is the reaction I wanted. No, I have Ryan listen. No. Okay. 7 wins or more, Fleric, Ryan, and myself. We all get a point. 6 wins or less, Jake gets a point.
Okay.
For Tomokaze.
Correct.
Got it.
We also have another one. Side bet. Abi. 2 belt wins or more, Fleric gets a point.
You're going down.
1 win or less, Ryan gets a point.
How many belt wins does he have in his career?
At least one.
With that out of the way, let's make our predictions. As always, we will predict the Yusho winner, June Yusho winner, a special prize winner, somebody who we think will get a Kimboshi, somebody ranked Maegashira 9 or below, we believe will get a Kachikoshi, and somebody ranked Maegashira 8 and above, we believe will get a Makekoshi. Each of these is worth 1 point. Add into that our additional points. So for some of us, for Fleric and I, there's 8 points on the line in here. For Jake and Mac, only 7 points. So Fleric and I already have the numerical advantage.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do any other stupid bets?
Let's do 20 of them. I think Tochiozan will get a win.
No way.
I
both agree, yeah. He's
But,
gonna get a win.
so Fleric, if I say Tochiozan will get a win, and I get a point for that, and you're like, no, he's not going to get any wins, you don't get a point.
Okay.
If we do enough of those where we flip-flop who's getting 1 win,
Hey, wait a
I was
second.
about to say, now hold on here.
we're guaranteed like 10 points, and these guys will be losers no
I like
matter
where
what.
you're going at.
With that being said,
Mac, we need a bet.
Fleric and I will work out the details
Name it.
later.
Yeah.
I bet there will be one more error in your notes.
You're not wrong.
All right, let's get right on to the predictions. As the loser of the previous prediction series.
Wait a second. If we're losing points and gaining points, we're just going to stay exactly the same place.
Well, no, it's not -1 points if you get it wrong. It's just the other person gets 1 point.
Make your damn pick.
Okay, Yusho winner, Hakuho. Up next will be Fleric.
Okay, thank you for saying that.
Is it Goedo or is it Kakuryu?
It is fall. It's the fall of the stars. You know, all the stars are aligned. It is the Aki. It is time for Goedo. Yusho.
Ooh, not going with the June Yusho, the full Yusho treatment.
I have a feeling that none of you guys are going to pick him for Jun Yusho.
I literally already had typed in Kakuryu for you.
Oh,
All right,
really?
Jake, are you taking the CAC?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I was upset when I realized I had third pick and there are only 2 Yokozunas.
I don't know if Jake realizes what just happened. I asked if you were taking the CAC, and you said, "Oh yeah, for sure."
Oh,
Mac, who are you taking for the Yusho?
that's usually Fleric's job.
To take the CAC.
All right, we're going big or go home. Tomokaze!
Ooh,
Heck
he's
yeah.
committing.
That's actually quite a commitment.
I will bet with you that Tomokaze.
No, we've already got a Tomokaze
get the
bet.
Yusho.
No, we've already got a Tomokaze bet.
Oh, hell.
Mac, you get the first pick of a June Yusho.
I go with the hack.
All right, and then I will. Oh wait, I can't. I don't.
Error in your
Hedge your
notes.
bets.
I can take the CAC again, but I don't think that's wise. I'm going to go
It's never safe to take 2 cacks.
2 cacks is too many for me to take. So I'm not going to take another cack tonight.
Bold.
A bold prediction, Jake.
All right, Fleric, it's up to you. Do you want to take the cack that Jake?
I never said it. I typed it, but I never said it out loud. I'm picking Goedo for the junior show.
All right. Oh, Fleric was going to double up on the Goedo?
All this cack take cake.
Now he's got to take the cack he didn't want in the first place.
How old are we?
Sincere apologies to everybody listening to
plan.
this juvenile humor, but we find it hilarious.
I'm actually outraged you took my Goedo. I guess I'll take the cack. I'm not going to be happy about it.
Nobody is. Nobody's
I don't know
ever
about
happy.
nobody.
But I do appreciate that you're joining in on the meme, on the legend.
The meme pick for Goedo?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
one
right.
of us. Don't sigh. Just accept it.
I'd
wait.
rather do that than double cacks.
And
Jake, pull up the Bonske for me real quick because we're at the point where
You have no idea who
June
to pick.
Yusho is a literal crapshoot at this point. Literally, the last ranked guy won the June Yusho last time.
Right?
So
Do it again. Pick
Why-
the bottom guy.
and Hakuho, but yeah.
why not no show June Yusho?
This is why I did Tomokaze for you show. I'm
Oh, no
like,
shit,
you know
you
what?
show.
I
Yeah.
don't have faith in anybody right
Hey,
now.
like there is a little hype about Abi. I don't know if you heard some buzz. But
He's
Abi,
learned some belt games.
He's learned.
you should think about him.
All right, we have the special prize up next. I get the first pick. I'm going to go with Tomokaze.
Bold. Let's see who I wrote down. If it makes sense with anything I've said tonight.
That is usually the kicker for me.
Oh my goodness.
There are no more cacks on the table.
No more cacks on the table.
Okay, I think I wrote this down while I was probably thinking about Abi in the shower, but it's have Abi for special prize. It's Abi time.
Thinking about Abi
right,
with
all
those
right.
pulling techniques in the shower.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Oh my
I pick Abi. Let's move on.
Can they kick us off the internet?
It's possible at this point.
All right, Jake.
I'm sure no other podcast has ever made jokes like that in the past.
No.
Oh, Lord. I
not
don't
that
even know what
rapid
I was
fire.
doing.
Special prize.
Special. Oh, Christ. I'm going to pick. I think Ryuden is going to be my pick. He's down low enough that I think he may have a chance to maybe bust out a good one.
Heck yeah.
Terutsu Yoshi.
That will do it for that round.
Indeed.
All right, up next is the Kinboshi and which Yokozuna they will beat, starting with Mac.
I'm going with Ichinojo. Yeah. Thank you. Versus Kakuryu.
Fleric took an arrow to the knee.
Okay, I could take the worst bet in the history of the universe and take Aoyama over Hakuho. But I won't. I will take Asana Yama over Hakuho.
All right, I get one of 2 people that would make me so very happy to choose in this
Yeah.
category. So, Fleric.
You're not gonna get one of them. It's gonna be Hokuto Fuji over Hakuho.
All right. That's all right. Well, do I want to double up on Tomokaze here?
Might as well.
Yes, you do.
Let me see the rest of the joy real quick.
Oh, yeah, you didn't plan ahead here, Ryan,
Yeah,
for all your
apparently.
picks. You're too busy making pulling technique jokes.
Screw it. We're going all in with Tomokaze.
Oh.
It was a really good joke, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I should honestly retire.
You're only gonna go downhill
This is my
from here.
farewell.
I'm sorry, Tomokaze over who?
He's done it once. He'll do it again. The cack.
Oh my.
He's going to beat that cack. Ryan gets the next
my
pick.
All right,
Who is
Kachikoshi.
going to get a Kachikoshi from Megashira 9 or below?
Well, if he's going to win a Junyu show, he might as well get a Kachikoshi. Oh, no show.
Bastard.
all right,
all right.
Fleric's up next.
Off the heat of a Junior show, Teratsu Yoshi.
Oh, I'm throwing a lot of eggs in a couple of guys' baskets.
Very,
That was
very
one.
few baskets for you.
Wow.
Let's see. I'm going to go with, I'm going to pick with my heart, and I think Enho is going to get
Oh.
another Kachikoshi.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm going Nishikigi.
Nobody has ever gone Nishikigi happily.
We can't even make inappropriate jokes with that name.
And that's why I did it.
He's good for nothing.
All right, Matt.
Behold.
Who is ranked Maegashira 8 and above that will get a losing record?
Oh, Yama.
That's fair.
Thank you.
Let's see. I can make Ryan very upset with a couple picks here.
I mean, you've already got 1 point on the line for Tomokaze, Jake. What's another?
That's, you know what? I'm
my.
picking him because I want to, not because you told me. But I'm going to pick Tomokaze to get a Makikoshi. And you know what? We'll live by the sword, die by the fat guy.
Yeah.
Makikoshi
That's how the
Fleric
saying goes.
picks next.
Yeah, Fleric.
All right. I haven't bagged on this guy nearly enough, but Shodai.
Shodai.
He is.
All right, bring up
You're
that-
right. Wait, that's the first time you've brought him up tonight.
All right.
And Ryan needs help with a Bonsuke in front of him again.
Yeah, let's see who's up there. You guys have already taken the people I want to take.
Like Tomokaze.
Exactly. I just
You should take Hokuto Fuji.
no.
Dumitaki Yumi. You know
No,
you want to.
I might take an Abi.
They're in the draw. You have to be Maegashira.
Fine, I'll go with. This is really hard. You guys took all the.
Would you pick one?
I can't.
Mac, I
Stalling.
will bet that he will take.
Let's go. Shimanumi.
Sure.
No,
That was a lot of weight for not a lot of payoff.
no, not at all.
I don't have any jokes about him whatsoever. I barely know the man.
Sorry. But speaking of payoff, let's figure out what the payoff to this prediction series will be as we choose the punishment out of the patent pending Bowl O punishments / petty cash bowl.
Yeah, it's got a lot of coins in there now.
It does.
Proof.
All right, let's
Excellent podcastery right there.
reach in here, figure out what we want. I will read the punishment here.
Put the money back in the bowl.
Fine.
Just the punishment.
All right. So the loser will have to write a sumo-themed Shakespearean monologue in iambic pentameter. A word I have seen once before I read this.
Shocker. Ryan did not write that punishment. That's going to be a good one.
And based on how that prediction went, I need to research what iambic means as well.
Yep.
Penta means 5.
All right, you've got part of it.
Yeah.
All right, we mentioned it briefly before, but we did have a social media contest and a winner. We had the contest of name a sumo-themed superhero and what their power would be. Jake, why don't you list off some of the runner-ups for that?
Yeah, we had quite a few submissions. Thank you, everybody. Including at Noble Disposal gave us Raichi Nojo. No. I'm sorry, I don't really know the rhythm for reading that one. But it's Ichinojo mixed with Rhino, the Spider-Man villain. He is known for his superhuman strength and durability. He is also notorious for his lack of agility and slow reaction time. And the one that put this one over the edge is he made a picture that you can find on our Twitter page. He put Ichinojo's face and Kesho Mawashi onto a drawing of Rhino.
I think I just love the lilies just coming straight off of the Washington.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. It's a work of MS Paint genius.
It's a death machine
beautiful.
if I've ever seen one.
We also had Alan R. McLeod gave us the Jiggler, a.k.a. Kaisei, a villain who uses his jiggly belly rolls to hypnotize anyone who watches it. We also from at TimBoard64, one Harite man. One Harite. Match over.
Did they
Beautiful.
change their theme song for season 2?
Yes,
Oh,
they did.
Better not. Oh, really?
Obviously referencing One Punch Man, but yeah. That's terrible move on their part.
That was like the second best theme song in anime.
Like
after
behind-
obviously Hinomaru Sumo.
What? Not Attack on Titan?
I was going to say, what's the one with the
We'll
big
have a bonus
robots?
episode where we talk about this.
Oh, indeed. Fleric is so happy.
Now I think we actually have to have a bonus
We have
episode.
easily half an hour of content here on
Yeah.
anime
Oh,
theme songs.
That's the happiest I've ever seen Flare.
I would rank anime opening songs. In
all
an
right.
instant.
Why don't we mention who our winner was this time around?
Okay.
Our winner this time around was Brendan 1836 with the Wonder Twins 2020. Takayasu So Close and Go Away Don't with the superpower of disappointing people, especially me. Actually, no.
Not anymore. Your expectations are finally at an appropriately low level.
Yeah. I mean, I hate Goedo, so every time he does poorly, I'm very happy.
Yes, but now that we've established that me and Fleric's favorite is Takayasu, at least in the Ozeki ranks, I can say I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super disappointed.
Yeah.
So sad.
Superpowers.
You guys want some fun facts?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have some fun facts. So this first fun fact was inspired by something. I don't remember what, but I did research on...
And indeed, your fun fact is quite fun.
I think it was... we were talking about Kakuryu's record against Hakuho, and Hakuho is 43-8 against Kakuryu, which is an 80...
Fleric, stop laughing at the CAC jokes.
So the hawk versus the cack, right?
The hack versus the CAC. And the hack is beating the CAC 43-8. But that... I was curious, how does Hakuho rank against like all the Yokozuna he's ever faced, all of like the Ozeki that he's ever faced? Just curious, how is his record that dominant against all of them, or maybe earlier in his career he didn't do as well?
Mac, I will bet you one prediction point that probably, yes, it's pretty good.
No bet. I'm betting it's also really good too.
So I don't want to start chronologically.
I have a bet for you.
Let's start worstologically.
Worstologically. Got it.
And worst
Solid.
for the guy going up against Hakuho. So recent Ozeki promotee Chino Sheen has the worst all-time record against Hakuho among Yokozuna and Ozeki at 27 wins for Hakuho and 1 against Chino Sheen for a 96% win percentage for Hakuho. And all of these win and loss records include playoff victories, and they do not include Fusen victories.
Gotcha.
So every match that they've ever had against each other.
But if he's in last place, does that mean every single Ozeki or Yokozuna that Hakuho has faced has beaten him at least once?
That is correct.
Interesting.
So another guy that he is very good against is Takayasu. He is 19-2 against Takayasu with a 90% winning percentage, and against Kodo Shogiku, 56-6 against Kodo Shogiku.
That is a lot of matches.
Another 90% win percentage. Somebody who just barely missed that 90% line was Baruto. Hakuho is 25-3 against Baruto, 89% win percentage. Goedo, he's 38-6 against him, 86% win percentage. Kakuryu is the next, 43-8 with an 84% win percentage. And then we go to Takakeisho, 4-1 against Takakeisho, so very limited sample size. So 80% win percentage for Hakuho. Next is Kodo Oshu, who is 35. Hakuho is 35-10 against Kodo Oshu, 78% win percentage. And then Kodo Mitsuki, who was another recent Ozeki, Hakuho is 22-9 against him for a 71% win percentage. And, Kisei no Sato is in between those two. Hakuho is 45-16 against Kisei no Sato, 74% win percentage. And so now we get to the guys... Oh, and I missed Kaio as well. Sorry. Kaio...
Get it together, man.
Kaio, Hakuho is 26-5 against, 84% win percentage there. So now we get to the guys that kept it below 70%, of which there are 4.
Really? I can really only think of like one.
So... Of those 4, the worst off is Teruno Fuji. Hakuho is 9-4 against Teruno Fuji, 69% win percentage. And then the next is Harumu Fuji.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Hakuho is 38-22 against Harumu Fuji, 63% win percentage, and they were 1-1 in playoffs against each other. The next guy is 55% win percentage for Hakuho. Who do you think that is? Spoiler, you're not going to get it.
Dang. Okay. Am I going to get the other one, though?
Probably.
Yeah.
Tochiazuma is actually has a record of 6. Hakuho is 6-5 against Tochiazuma. And so Tochiazuma...
I would not have gotten that one.
Yeah, Tochiazuma's actually got a lot of play on this podcast recently, since we were talking about Rikshi, who have dropped from Ozeki to Sekiwake and regained their rank, as Tochiazuma has done that twice.
That's right. That guy. Okay.
Yeah. And then the last guy...
Mac, I will bet you one prediction point that I know this answer. I know who it is, but I'm curious to see what the rating is. It's Asashoryu.
Is it above or below a 50% win percentage for Hakuho?
I think that it is below. I think Asashoryu had a winning record against Hakuho.
In regular matches, Hakuho is 13-12 against Asashoryu. But if you count in playoffs, Asashoryu was 3-1 in playoffs against Hakuho for an overall record of 14-15 for Hakuho versus Asashoryu for a 48% win percentage.
Thank you. I'll take that prediction point, Mac.
I don't believe we bet on that one.
I did all the talking, but that doesn't mean it's not official.
So yeah, Hakuho, pretty good against
Pretty good
most
at the
He's
sumo.
at the
everybody.
sumo.
Yeah.
He's good at the sumo.
He's good at the sumo.
All right, you ready for my bet, Jake?
Okay, what's your bet?
All right. To back up my bold prediction from earlier, I'm predicting a Hakuho Kyujo.
Oh.
That's a solid bet. Okay, I think
right,
that's
you in?
that's a good one. Yeah, let's do that one.
All right,
Let's
Max,
do that
take
one.
some
I think
studious notes.
Much better than before.
All right, Fleric
I'll
versus
check his
Jake.
work. You guys talk for a little bit. I'm going to check Max's work so that he writes it
Yeah,
down
I'm pretty sure it's
properly.
going to be Fleric versus Jake. If Kakaryu pulls out, Jake gets a point. That sounds
What was
like
that?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
I'm just guessing what Mac is writing down right now.
Cac pulls out.
Yeah.
All right. Who had the next fun fact?
This is by far the raunchiest episode of this podcast
yes.
ever, isn't it?
I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Yeah. The other
read it
fun
and
fact.
wait.
It's
Okay, I think it's clear.
It's going to be a sensual year 3 here on the Grand Sumo Breakdown
Quite
podcast.
sensual.
That's the word of the year.
Yeah. All right,
It's,
Jake,
it's the terrible threes now.
hit the other fun fact.
The other fun fact I have is that Goeido and Tochiozan joined sumo at the exact same time, and they have been rivals ever since. Let's see. Goeido faced Tochiozan in high school amateur sumo competition and regards him as his chief personal rival. In their first professional bout in 2005, Goeido won, and Tochiozan reached Sekitori before Goeido, actually. Oh. Yeah, but obviously since then, Goeido has hit the higher peaks. They both made Sanyaku right around the same time, and their head-to-head record is fairly close. Goeido leads at 25-14, which includes one Fusen, and had won 6 in a row until the end of 2018 when Tochiozan won a match. But I thought that was pretty cool because that kind of reflects Onosho and Takakeisho that we've talked about several times on this podcast. They entered at the same time. They had a long rivalry. And that's kind of the rivalry that one can aspire to be. You know, two guys that are definitely top caliber who have been facing off for a long, long time against each other. So I hope that their rivalry includes, a full 39 matches like that one did. And I think it'd be cool if Goeido and Tochiozan, both kind of older guys, I hope they have at least a couple more matches in them.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I was kind of I think with Goeido sticking around the Ozeki, I think the other guy has to jump up a little bit.
Tochiozan,
is a Maegashira 16 this basho. He's the second to last ranked guy, so might not see it this basho or the next basho or the basho after that. But maybe after 4 consecutive decent performances from Tochiozan, we could see the rivalry rekindled.
Yeah.
Tochiozan's been in the Joy as recently as 3 tournaments ago, though. So
Heck yeah.
he's certainly that caliber of wrestler, but I think it's both these guys are past 30. They're both 32. So it's probably more likely that we'll see them match up somewhere together on the way down, but who knows? It could be fun.
Smoothly transitioning over to Fantasy and ELO.
Nice.
Yeah, right. We will keep everybody up to date with our fantasy contest, with what our teams look like. We'll update everybody on how we're looking in our midway episode, but we have yet to draft, and so once we do that, we will post our teams on Twitter.
Yeah, and we'll also put that on our blog. The other thing that we've promised to go along with the bonus episode we put out this last month was some visuals of the Kimurite analysis that we did. Check out that episode, and by the time the basho rolls around, we'll have a couple images posted of our breakdown of different wrestlers' techniques.
So, as we do for every tournament, what is everybody most excited for? Let's start with Fleric.
Sweating every single Goeido match.
Sweating as much as his opponents will as soon as they see their name against Goeido on the Torikumi.
Naturally.
I think for me, it's I don't know if I'd call it excited, but I'm really, really interested to see where the top 6 guys are as far as their injury status.
Apprehensive, maybe?
I'm very apprehensive. Yes, there you go. Anxious. The hack and the cack for sure. They seem okay, but they have histories of lots of stuff going wrong. All of the guys that were Ozeki last time. So
shreds, you say.
To shreds, you say. But yeah, so the 3 current Ozeki and Takakeisho, I'm really apprehensive to see where they're at health wise and if they can pull together the 8 wins that they're going to need.
I'm excited just to see what Abi's going to do.
Yeah.
I'm always excited to see what our little protagonist can do.
As long as
We're
he
buying
keeps
into
his
that
hand,
metaphor.
As long as he keeps his hands off the belt, I'm fine with whatever he does.
He gets to use show, but every single it's pushing, thrusting.
I am legit 100% behind Tomokaze and believe that he is the next guy. So I'm very excited to see how he does.
Are you
with his-
abandoning Hokuto Fuji?
No, Hokuto Fuji will always be my favorite. Like, the Minnesota Vikings are my favorite team. Are they ever going to win the Super Bowl? Hell no. But
What the hell?
but it doesn't mean
This guy calls himself a football fan.
Right?
that teams that
This
I think
guy.
are up and coming and might win the Super Bowl, like the Chiefs, doesn't mean I like the Chiefs more than the Vikings.
The Chiefs are my AFC
just
team.
means I recognize talent and think that they're going to do very well this year.
Okay, so Ryan has now cursed the Chiefs. And
I hope
Tomokaze.
so. Yeah, hopefully I anti-curse the Vikings.
Hey, a Chiefs-Viking playoff would be amazing.
That would be cool. Replay of Super Bowl IV. Hopefully it goes the other direction for the good guys. But yeah, like I said, I 100% am of the belief that Tomokaze is the next big guy, kind of like Takayasu, except without the injuries and like better body built for sumo. So I'm very excited to see how he does in his first test against a full Sanyaku schedule. That will wrap up our Aki preview edition. So if you enjoyed this podcast and want to leave us a 5-star review, you can do so on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service.
You can find us on social media, I believe Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Check out our blog, grandsumobreakdown.com, where, like I said, we'll post our fantasy draft and ELO rankings.
If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
We will have our midway episode sometime between days 6 and 8. We haven't figured it out yet. We'll get it figured out.
Jake, I will bet you that our review episode, or midway episode, is going to be between the midway of the Boss Show. What do you think?
Take them on.
You're terrible
That's
at
great.
this. Can we,
I'm awful at this. You're right.
Can we hit the music?
And obviously, review episode will be after the Ba Show, followed shortly by a Bonsuke review episode. Flair, hit the music.
Give me those sweet drums.
Oh, wait, I
Flair,
don't do
have
that
you
part.
ever actually listened to the outro? We changed it to the Sailor Moon theme like a year ago.
Just to see if you would notice. You failed.
I'm okay with this. Continue.
No, it should be the Evangelion ending.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.